Hi, I'm Gracie, and this is Scott from Small Worlds, Big Adventures, Building Community Through Gaming. And today we are here to review Lords of Waterdeep.
Yeah, Lords of Waterdeep is a 2 to 5 player game. It plays in 60 to 120 minutes, so 1 to 2 hours, depending on players. You can get it for $50. Setup takes about 10 to 15 minutes.
Teardown's quicker.
Teardown's a lot quicker. Lords of Waterdeep is a worker placement game themed off of Dungeons & Dragons, the tabletop role-playing game. You play as one of the secret lords of Waterdeep, a giant city, and you're trying to resolve quests by hiring adventurers and spending gold and gaining victory points.
Yeah. Even if you're not into Dungeons & Dragons, the theme is very just adventure-y in general. Yeah. So don't feel like you're going to miss out if you're not a D&D nerd. When it comes to rating things, we rate things on a 5-point scale from terrible, bad, mixed, good, and excellent. And to kick off our ratings, talking about player agency, I think player agency is good.
I also think player agency rates as good.
I think the mainly limited thing, and this is with all worker placement games, is the moment people start placing stuff, you are limited on all your options.
It's kind of a question we've gone back and forth on player agency is just kind of what does it mean? But your options quickly become limited based on what your opponents are doing, which is fine.
Yeah,
but
it's part of the challenge.
Yeah, it's part of the challenge. And in this, the agency is good. You still got a lot of options, and you get more as the game goes on.
Yep. People are able to build new buildings, which gives you more places to go. Also, one of the places you can go is to become first player, which then gives you top pick as the round unfolds. Yeah. So yeah, definitely good. Mechanics, you said excellent.
Yeah, I put mechanics as excellent.
I put it as good. Do you want to explain your excellent?
I feel like for a worker placement game, everything kind of just rolls into an engine of gaining the resources you need, using those resources for completing the quests or whatever your goal is, and building that up turn after turn.
Yeah. And I think that's very good and it rolls out well. I don't think it's excellent. I think because of the player dynamics and whatnot, and this plays a little bit more into player agency, you can't just achieve all your goals without influence from other people. Your spot might get taken or things like that. An intrigue card can real F up your day. So it's good. It's not flawless.
I think I would say, and that tends to be a hallmark of worker placement games in general, and where some of the earlier Agricola and Le Havre were kind of some of the earlier worker placement games that we've seen in board games. I do think Lords of Waterdeep has just kind of become the benchmark for worker placement, in my opinion. It's maybe not the best, but its mechanics work really well. And at this point, if I'm looking at a worker placement game, I'm probably comparing it to this game.
Fair. Components-wise, good.
Good. They're for a $50 game. Yeah, they're solid. I would love if the little cubes that stand in for adventurers were maybe a little figure for the type of adventure they are. That'd be cute. But otherwise, the cards are nice stock. The board is good. The cubes are fine for what they do. You've got
they're wood
cardboard tokens for gold. I mean, the components are good.
Yeah. Standard, high quality standard components.
The game, it's been out for quite a while. Just kind of feels like, especially at a $50 price point, just the standard at which a lot of other games could be viewed.
Yeah. And the artwork is also very lovely. Thematically, again, that kind of fantasy adventure-y motif. Theme-wise, we both said excellent.
Yeah. The theme of you gathering adventurers to do quests that have different effects depending on what the quest is. A lot of the quests kind of build on each other in some fashions so that you can kind of get like a little engine going. there's a lot of skullduggery going
Yeah.
on with intrigue cards and stuff like that. I think the only thing, and it wouldn't be a complaint, is were I to remake Lords of Waterdeep, I would change how the lords actually work.
That's fair.
I don't know, give them each a different set of maybe their own personal quests to accomplish or something else, rather than just each one has 2 types of quests that they want to have done by the end of the game.
Yeah. And I'm not, like, I play D&D. I am not a D&D historian. So, like, the lords, I'm not sure if they're actually in, like, lore, and then if the quest lines that they give extra points for, if those tie to, like, their persona or whatnot.
Right.
So, like, I can't speak to that. But, again, like you said, it very much feels like, all right, I am preparing for an adventure. We've gone on this adventure. I now get spoils, victory points, coins, more adventurers. Though in my head, that I think of, like, these are the ones that survived. Not always the same colors, but that's how I read it. So yeah, just really good themed when it comes to that. So, and then enjoyability.
Excellent. I don't think I've ever had a bad time playing the game.
No. And it's a go-to. Like, if we're never sure what to play, it's easy. Like, yeah, we could play Lords of Waterdeep. And I was like, ugh.
Yeah.
Have fun every time. Like, you can't really predict who's going to win, too. Though there are some tricks and suggestions, but, you know, it's not like you find the key and then you're just the winner all the time.
Right.
Makes I would wonder.
Same. If you've ever played Dungeons and Dragons, have you ever played in Waterdeep in a campaign or an adventure? Comment below.
Yeah, we homebrew a lot, so I'm not sure we've done much in Waterdeep.
Well, that's where the Dragon Heist is taking place.
I pay attention. So going into whether I liked the game or not, I liked it. You can't have an enjoyability of excellent and not like the game. But one of the things I love, and I never would have thought this pre getting into, like, nerdy board games, complex board games, is, like, I love the long strategy of it. I very much am that person who, like, tries to get the biggest quests that have the most points and, like, slow build over the game and then, like, knock out a bunch of big points at the end. So, like, trying to plan what my steps are across the 8 rounds is one of my favorite things. But that is very particular to me. But that kind of goes into my other favorite thing, is a new player who hasn't played this, who doesn't have strategies that they like to do, is not going to feel like they can't compete in the game. There's lots of different ways they can get points and not be last, or if they are last, not far behind other people. It is a game where a new player can get their feet wet and not feel intimidated. Having said that, I would not call it a gateway game.
No, it's not a gateway game. Not a good one anyway.
No. And then, despite how long it can be up to 2 hours. It's a very quick moving game. Like, the turns are quick. You're constantly kind of doing something. So you're never sitting there waiting for someone, unless they're really thinking hard, to try and do something, which I think can lend itself well to, especially, like, onboarding new players and whatnot. Your attention isn't left to its own devices for very long. What about you?
My takeaways for the game, it's consistently good. Basically never had a bad game. Everybody we bring to the game tends to enjoy it, both when they're first learning it, and then it's the game that we've most often had people say, well, let's play that, rather than anything else. It's just a consistently good game. Again, like I said before, it just has kind of, certainly for us, and even kind of looking online in a lot of places, just seems to kind of like a benchmark game to compare other games to. The theme, I think, for the game is just top notch. Yeah. It just works real well. I've seen better in some games, but, like, it works real well for this game. And then I like that there's a lot of opportunities for different types of strategy. Kind of as you were saying, you can do a bunch of short little quests and try and just rack up small amounts of points fast, or you can get bigger quests that take a long time to complete and then get a big bunch of points later in the game. And then we won't talk about it now, but there's an expansion to the game that adds even more to that and works just real well with the original game.
It does. So if you're curious if you'll like Lords of Waterdeep, One, you're probably newer to board games, but if you've also played the games like Agricola, Dragon's Gate College, Charterstone, or The Lost Ruins of Arnak, you're probably going to like this game. All those are pretty iconic worker placement games, different themes, but very similar mechanics.
If you've enjoyed worker placement, you'll almost certainly enjoy Lords of Waterdeep.
If you don't enjoy worker placement, what's wrong with you? But if you like this video and hearing us review an iconic benchmark game like Lords of Waterdeep, go ahead and hit like on this video. If you want to see more of these reviews or watch us do walkthroughs of the games or hear Scott talk about being a gamekeeper, go ahead and hit subscribe. And if you hit that notification bell, you will be notified every time we upload a video.
Comment down below.
About whether or not you played Dungeons & Dragons and have spent time in Waterdeep.
Or anything.
All right, we'll see you next time. Side question before we move on. Is Catan a worker placement game?
No.
Why not?
You don't place any workers in that.
Don't you place your guys in the... Oh, that's
No,
true.
You're thinking of a different game or forgetting Catan.
No, I think I got confused because the little...
You build villages, and then based on where that is in the dice that comes up, you get resources. There is a little guy who steals from you.